A chilling tale unfolds beneath the Dead Sea's toxic brine where the wrath of God swallowed the ancient city of Zora. A Sodom's sister city, now known as the City of the Damned, it lies 400 meters below a shimmery lake whose surface shimmers like a sheet of burnished steel under the merciless glare of the desert sun. A place where the air grows thin and the only sounds are the crunch of salt crystals underfoot and the sigh of the wind as it whips across the barren landscape. But there is more here than meets the eye. For beneath this desolate wasteland lies a secret that has remained hidden for centuries. The ruins of a city so well preserved it is as if time itself has stood still. Here, streets, houses, and even a marketplace stall with fossilized fruit are all perfectly preserved down to the grain of wood. It is a city straight out of an ancient history book, but one that should not exist. For Zora was lost to the merciless wrath of divine retribution, leveled to the ground along with its sister city, Sodom, for their decadence and corruption. But unlike Sodom, Zora was never meant to be discovered. Its existence was known only to shepherds tending their flocks on the rolling hills. Above and curious Bedouin tribesmen who knew of its location but avoided it out of fear. For they say the spirits that linger there are restless, and those who disturb them do so at their peril. It was only when the water receded during a severe drought that the world learned of its existence. And it was here that Dr. Lena Petrova and her team made their way to the recently exposed site. Armed with submersible lights, they cut through the murky depths and descended into the heart of the Dead Sea. What they found was nothing short of miraculous. As the luminescent beams sliced through the murky water, they revealed a sight that was both breathtaking and eerie. There, in the ghostly gloom, lay the remains of Zara streets. Buildings and even pieces of daily life were all there, trapped in time as if the city had been abandoned just yesterday. The silence was deafening, broken only by the hum of their equipment and the pounding of their own hearts. Then, just as suddenly as they had arrived, the sonar picked up movement, impossible shapes flitting between the buildings. At first, they thought it was a trick of the light, a play of shadows and reflections. But then the comms crackled with static and a faint, distorted sound cut through the haze. It was laughter, high-pitched and piercing, like the cackle of a madman. Terror tightened its icy grip around Petra's throat as she strained to listen. The laughter was joined by another sound, something sickening and grotesque, the sound of flesh being torn limb from limb. Her heart hammered against her ribs as she watched the external cameras. What she saw there froze the blood in her veins. Figures, or what was left of them, shimmered into view. Semi-corporeal outlines of men, women, and children, frozen mid-scream, or contorted in an agony of pain. They were the damned souls of Zara, forever trapped in the city of their sin. One of them pressed a spectral hand against the viewport. Where it touched, the reinforced glass frosted, then screamed in Petra's mind, showing images of fire raining from the sky and a decadence so vile it curdled her soul. This was no ordinary relic of the past. Zora was not an ancient ruin, but a living hell. The citizens of Zora weren't dead. They were eternally drowning in the echo of their own damnation, and they wanted company. With a desperate scramble, Petra and her team retreated from the ghostly apparition, leaving behind the silent screams of the damned. As they ascended into the Dead Sea, the laughter and screams echoing in their ears, they knew they would never forget what they had seen there. For some, the discovery of Zora was a once-in-a-lifetime find, a glimpse into the heart of a civilization long gone. But for others, it was a nightmare, a terrifying reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of our world. And as the sun sets over the Dead Sea, casting long shadows across the dunes, the question remains: what other secrets lie hidden beneath the waves?